Welcome back to Venom's New Beginning. After saving Anna and Kristoff from an indeterminate number of bandits, Eddie Brock was invited back to the castle where he met Queen Elsa. The two were immediately enamored of one another. I mean, Elsa's got ice powers, she's polite, she has ice powers. And Eddie Brock, well, he's just so mysterious.
That's his power? He's mysterious?
Well, terribly mysterious.
And did you see the way he took down those bandits? Like a predator stalking prey. No one can seem to shut up about it! If you'd like to submit fan art, fanfics for us to read, or questions, comments of any kind, you can email us at fanficnight@orderoftheleague.com. This is Fanfiction Theater, a celebration of naive writing in all of its foibles, flaws, and unintentional hilarity.
So what did I miss though? The last time my internet cut out when Elsa was showing Eddie her powers, and we were laughing about whether Eddie was just going to turn into a monster in front of her.
Yeah, he hasn't yet. They just retired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he pondered some more about what might happen.
Okay, should I start or?
Yeah, the other frame seems to be frozen.
All we need now, Tristan, is for you to like freeze yourself like happy, and we'll have kind of the dramatis persona mask. There we go. Okay. Chapter 3. Over the next few days, Eddie stayed around the castle, much to Elsa's request. As he hung around the group, he got to know them better, and as they did with him.
And also
all of these
with
sentences
your spirit.
Yeah.
All of these sentences end in a way that I don't expect. He especially spent a lot of time with Elsa every chance he got. Okay, that one. There we go. Okay, we're back on track now. Both of them enjoyed one another's company and began to grow closer as time went on. See, this writer was like, "Oh, thank Christ! I got him through one conversation. Now I can just
I'm just picturing
smooth
the
sailing from
Stephen K.
here.
riff. It was a really fascinating conversation.
Yeah." However, at night, when everyone was fast asleep, he became Venom and left to search for carnage. Something was wrong. It had almost been a whole week since he and Carnage arrived in Arendale, and he hadn't seen him since. He was up to something. Or he was dead under an avalanche. Either or.
Right. Plotting something like all teenagers are at their core.
He was up to something, but what? It wasn't his style to lay low like this. It was almost like he had been killed by an...
Dead under an avalanche.
I picture like Airplane, like Ted never dies under an avalanche back home. On this particular night, as he sat in the guest bedroom he was given, he was deep in thought, but not so much about Carnage, but about something else. Elsa.
No,
something Elsa.
He was up to something.
As he sat on his bed, he began to realize how deeply he cared for the Snow Queen. Of course, it was no secret that the two of them had grown fond of one another. The whole situation was also apparent to everyone else, especially Anna and Kristoff. Anna was living vicariously through Elsa.
What?
Where did that come from?
Doesn't Anna have Kristoff?
Yeah.
For the longest time, she
had murder 15 guys like a hunter stalking prey.
For the longest time, she had tried to get Elsa to find someone, but to no avail. That is, until this mysterious Eddie Brock came into the picture. She even took several opportunities to hint to Eddie that Elsa thought the world of him. As far as Eddie was concerned, Elsa was the living embodiment of all things good and pure in this world. Normally, for a villain like him, he would be repulsed by such good, but not in this case. Every second he was with her, he wanted to know more about her. For the first time that he could ever remember, he felt alive, but most of all happy, truly happy. So I haven't seen Frozen, but from what I've heard, it's kind of supposed to be this sort of like feminist statement or whatever, right? That the girls don't necessarily need men and everything. And I feel like it's just a real misunderstanding of the core of what the story is about.
The movie is like a half-assed attempt at that.
The big twist is that true love, an act of true love, ends up being between sisters and any guy.
Well, it just it seems to me like we have such a missed opportunity here. Like, for the way to show them becoming closer, wouldn't it be badass if they were out using their powers to take down crooks and stuff?
Oh, that would be interesting. That's against fan fiction.
Rather than this forced with no backup behind it sort of love story, it feels like with Frozen especially, this would be a cool way to just make her a superhero, right?
She can make life. Okay, she made Olaf. So yeah, she's definitely a superpower.
They could go find Carnage's corpse and possibly bring.
And the first thing he's gonna say, he would think it's well, I can't find him. Hey, Elsa, can you lift that snow up?
And even if Carnage weren't there, at least it makes sense for him to be could you look under this snow? Because
right, exactly. And really, Carnage is not exactly one to want to stealth anything, so he's not going to turn back into Cletus Cassidy to blend into Arendale. Okay,
I like to imagine that somewhere around chapter 10 we're going to find Cletus working he's shoeing horses, and he's
so
can't take your horse, y'all.
He just wants to live a normal life.
That would he's taken a wife. They've they somehow already have 3 children. As he looked down at a small picture of her that he found somewhere, a sense of loneliness hit him again. Does that mean he's definitely stole it?
Or I think it just means he surreptitiously took it while she was sleeping or something.
He was Venom, one of the deadliest villains of all time, a bad guy. While on the other hand, she was a queen and a very wonderful one. She had the kindest heart, and she was the loveliest person he had ever met. She was leagues above him. What did he have that she could ever want? Deep down inside, he believed she would hate him and fear him once she learned who he truly was. As he stood up, he put the picture in his pocket and walked to the window. It was then he changed to his Venom form and leapt out the window and swung away into the night.
On what?
Meanwhile,
there's no skyscrapers around here. The only tall building is the castle. Is he just circling around the castle?
It's like the video games where you just fling out web fluid and you just keep going.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Elsa lied awake in her bed, staring at the ceiling in deep thought as well. Should I look this up? Man, it's not worth it. The past few days had flown by for her as she got to know Eddie Brock, and although she learned a great deal about him and his life, there was still something else he had been hiding, and she could feel it. He was truly a mysterious man. Oh my God. He was truly a mysterious man, and she couldn't shake this feeling she had that there was something else about him, something dark in nature. Jesus fucking Christ. Anything. Just it's like when they just repeat over and over again the same damn thing.
And it's something could happen.
Yeah.
But it's not going to.
He's still saying, I wonder what would happen if Venom was in Arendale. I wonder. I'm just typing while I wonder and wonder and wonder.
Yet the mystery attracted her to him all the same. But what was it? It was driving her crazy, and she couldn't stand it.
Some kind of mysterious darkness.
Rolling out of her bed and walking to the window, she stared into the night and asked aloud,
"You trying to hide, Eddie Brock?"
Meanwhile, Venom swung to a high point overlooking the town and used his sixth sense in order to find Carnage. He tuned in.
Okay, that's not okay.
He tuned in, paying extra close attention to the activity in town, hoping to find some kind of sign of his enemy. Still no luck. When he was about to curse his luck, something caught his attention. He could sense a disturbance, almost a feeling of panic. He then took a leap of faith off of his overlook and then shot out his web and swung towards the source of the disturbance.
I hope I grab that disturbance and it's high and from it.
It's almost panic. As he closed in on his destination, he could hear shouting,
You stupid woman!
He then rounded a corner and landed in the shadows and saw what was happening. A man had pushed a woman to the ground and was beating her. The man was obviously drunk as he was slobbering out the mouth while he abused the woman. Does that... He could also have rabies, right?
Yeah.
No, because he
not-
has a big
drunk
jug with
usually-
3 X's on it.
She begged him to stop and was promising she wouldn't do it again, whatever it was. To which the drunk kicked her and was still shouting,
I told you to leave the door unlocked so I could come in. I don't care if you were just keeping that son of yours safe at night. When I come back at night from drinking, I want to be able to come in.
I wonder if it's a fight he's had with his wife. But it's 1 o'clock in the morning, Mary. Sometimes you don't even come back. I just thought.
Since when do you ever think, you stupid whore?
Nothing captures the beauty of the world of Frozen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is.
He then
Yeah.
pulled her back up and raised his hand to slap her. But before he did, he quickly spat.
If that little snot-nosed son of yours wasn't such a weakling, you wouldn't need to worry about protecting him. But you're just as stupid and weak as he is.
As Eddie saw the drunkard abuse this woman the way he was, hatred. The way he. I thought he was going for
he
the
was.
like the
Hey, that's
parallel
the way I
between
abuse women drunkenly.
hatred burned in Venom's eyes. It was time to show this man who was the true coward.
Yeah,
That's
it's time
me.
now. After we had that long domestic abuse scene, like
Right.
he could have stopped something within the time that the guy was swinging his first hand, but no.
But he had to
I wanna
wait
see
and
where
see.
he's going with this.
Right. Let's see where this goes. He might have a good
Let's see
point.
what he quickly spits
Exactly.
before he
She might
slaps her.
deserve this, you know.
Meanwhile, the man was about to strike her when something grabbed him with
I'm
inhuman
getting
speed
ready.
and rammed him up against the woman's house. This is not meanwhile. This is literally the same scene.
Right? Yeah.
The drunk's eyes
winding
filled
up.
with fear. The drunk's eyes filled with fear as he saw the monster that had him.
What are you? What are
He
you?
asked to
Sorry.
which Venom smiled and roared.
Your sin's coming back to haunt you.
He then body slammed the man to the ground, breaking several of his ribs. The drunk What was that?
Just chest bumped him.
Yes, that's how I read that too.
Luchador moves.
Yeah.
The drunk screamed in pain as he made impact and he attempted to crawl away from the attacker. He didn't even get 5 feet before Venom grabbed him again and raised him to eye level. Now, who was Venom again? Is he good? As the man whimpered in fear and from his pain, Venom began choking the life out of him and said,
So you like to hurt weaker people, huh? Well, so do I.
He then released his grip and let the man drop to the ground. Venom then said,
If you ever If you ever come back here and lay a finger on this woman or her son, I will finish what I started. Do you understand?
To which the man pleaded for his life.
I promise I'll never do it again. Please let me go.
He then coughed up blood and began to cry. They decided to sing a song about it.
What?
Venom then kicked the drunk in the face, knocking him out cold.
Which means he's not going to remember any of this.
He then picked up the man's body and threw
Through and through.
in a compost pile about a block away. Turning around at the woman who was still on the ground, Eddie made his Venom face disappear to show his own. He then said to the woman,
Go inside to tend to your son.
Then he turned finally back into Venom and disappeared into the night. Once he was out of sight, he swung away on his web back towards the castle. He then landed on top of the highest tower and looked over the city.
I don't know where you are, Carnage, but you can't hide forever. I will get you.
He stayed atop the tower for another 20 minutes in his Venom form before he scaled back to the window of his room. As he entered through, he turned back into his human form and closed the window for the night. He then shut the blinds and then settled in for the night and crawled into bed.
For the
As
night.
he stared at this... Yeah. I was like, that sentence could have ended 3 times. As he stared at the ceiling like Elsa had done earlier that evening, he made up his mind. Tomorrow he was going to tell Elsa the truth, and if it was meant to be, then everything will work out for the best.
Next chapter.
He had a,
Next
If it
chapter,
doesn't, then I'll
definitely.
eat her head.
he had a big day tomorrow, so he tried his best to get some rest.
Well, got a big day tomorrow. I'm Venom the most people doing it.